Well, good morning, everyone. Happy rainy, whatever day this is, Thursday. They all run together because it rains all the time. Did you bring it?
The rain?
Yeah.
No.
Would you turn it off?
I would love to figure out.
I know. I was talking with Nicole out there at the front desk. I said, would you please turn the spigot off? She said, if I could find it, I totally would. It's getting ridiculous. But, well, welcome. This is Mr. Cheryl.
Mr. Cheryl.
Mr. Cheryl, a.k.a. Eric, and you are here with your Kiwanis hat on today.
I am.
And that's super exciting.
Yeah, we have a big event coming up, a week from Saturday.
You do, and we're going to find out all about that here in just a moment. But Adrian tells me that we have to play a message first or we get in trouble because we got to pay for this thing.
You got to pay the bills.
That's
Absolutely.
right. So we're going to have a message, and we're going to come back and talk about something really, really fun and the things that the Kiwanis are up to in just a second.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back on this very, very rainy Thursday, and we are going to talk about something that the rain is going to go away for, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, Eric says so.
That's right. We've scheduled a sunny day on the 19th for inviting everybody out to the annual Easter egg hunt in Manpower Park. I understand, this is my first year, but I understand the Kiwanis Club's been doing it for 8 years now.
Yep.
And before then, I guess one of the Methodist church, I think, or one of the churches was
I don't
putting it
know.
on.
That's interesting.
But we've been busy the last couple of months filling over 10,000 little plastic eggs with candy.
Fun.
And that alone has been kind of an event in itself.
Sure.
We've used the help of what's called the Action Club, and that's a part of Kiwanis.
Okay.
And it's a group. It's a service group of disabled adults, and it's the only one in the country. There's over, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 members across the country, and we're lucky enough to have a group local to us that our Kiwanis group supports. And it's the greatest thing to work with this group of disabled adults. And
absolutely.
And they helped us. They were a tremendous help filling all the eggs.
Yeah, 10,000 eggs is quite
a lot of eggs.
That's a lot of eggs. And if you know this show, you know that Miss Cheryl lost her mind and bought a house off the internet, and you're fell. I don't even know how that worked. Did she just tell you one day, by the way, we're going to buy a house off the internet in Jackson, Ohio?
It was a group decision, surprisingly.
Okay. So you were a culprit in it as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, so this is going to be your first year here doing, with the Kiwanis and doing this Easter egg hunt. We were talking off the air about what good the Kiwanis Club does. And as someone new to the community, how did you get involved with Kiwanis?
I was, I got to go back. I started my entire life, I've been involved with the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
I was a Boy Scout myself. And as soon as my kids became of age, I got them into scouting. And I was always a Scout Master, a Cub Master, a leader. And then even after they all eagled out, as they say, I still stayed on for like 10 more years.
Oh, okay.
Being a leader and
That's
stuff with the kids.
awesome.
So I've always been interested in service groups, to help the community. And kind of eventually got out of scouting and I was looking for something. Sure. And discovered the Kiwanis group. Yeah. And it's basically adult scouting is the way I see it because we get together and we help the kids in the community. And it's an awesome organization, and everybody I've met. I go to I go to conventions and everything. It's family, and it's just a great group of people to hang around.
You know, it's just interesting to pick someone's brain that's actually from outside of our area. So thank you for joining in the service that you're doing, because, you know, the great thing about our Kiwanis Club or other Kiwanis clubs is the fact that everything is to help local individuals, whether it be kids or, you know, doing the flowers for the community in downtown, all kind of fun things.
I was impressed because I come from a much larger club that I was in California. Sure. And I'm actually still involved with that club too.
Okay.
Remotely. But when I got here and I researched this club, it's just impressive of what they, and there's only 25 members.
Yeah.
And everything they do for the community. We just finished last March. It's called Read Around the World, where we distributed books to all the kindergartners, and we actually went in person and read to all the kindergarten classes. And that was awesome experience. This month, we've got the Easter egg hunt with 10,000 eggs that we're giving out.
All for those kiddos.
In May, we put up the flowers along Main Street and start that process. So every single day,
the Judy Project.
One of our members is, you'll probably see me out there, and Cheryl.
Sure.
Watering the plants every single day from May till September. And then in June, we do a bash in a park. It's a big game day for the kids. It's essentially a gift back to the kids of Jackson. They can come to the park and play games, and there's going to be a DJ there, and all food. We're going to feed them. That's going to be a lot of fun. July, we have a golf tournament coming up, and that's one of our big fundraisers. August, we do Pig Iron Days, where we feed the community.
Yes.
We help the firefighters with that. And then September is our biggie. That's the 5K race at the
huge at the Apple Festival.
At the Apple Festival.
Yes, big one.
And this year, I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes going on with the Apple Festival this year, and it's going to be crazy. I cannot even imagine what this town is going to be like.
Dude, it is going to be off the chain, especially with the Ohio State Marching Band coming on Saturday to be in the parade.
The number of people that they're predicting that this town. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start selling parking at my house. I
know, right? All the way out there.
And then beyond that, October, we do a big spaghetti dinner and be cooked by myself.
Very good.
And then in November or December, we have a Santa's Workshop where we do crafts. It's all free for the kids to come in and build Christmas crafts and meet Santa and all that other stuff. So it's incredibly ambitious and exciting stuff that we do for the community.
You know, it is. And then not to mention the behind the scenes stuff of, you know, buying socks and coats.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
You know,
I
things
didn't even...
for our local kids that, you know, if a kid gets in an accident at school or falls or has an accident at school, you know, make sure that they have clothes to change into and, you know, all of those little things that no one even hears about.
Well, yeah.
And scholarships.
Exactly. I was just going to say, those are just the events. And then I had a list here of, scholarships. Right now, we're reviewing all the scholarship applications from the high schoolers. So we give out thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships. One thing that I found interesting, school field trips for the elementary schools. We are a major contributor to the local PTOs to fund the field trip program for all the elementary schools.
You know, and that's so very important because you know, there are a lot of kids that would never get to see some of the things that they get to see, whether it be COSI or the, you know, animal petting zoos and, you know, the Columbus Zoo, all of these things that kids get to experience because of field trips, they might not get to do otherwise. And so thank you for that as well.
Well, and that would be the first thing that goes as budgets become tighter and tighter.
Sure, absolutely, because it's not a necessity, but it is sure nice.
Yeah.
For the kids. Well, let's get back to this Easter egg hunt. So it's not this coming Saturday. No. So we're going to have some time to dry out here a little bit. So the following Saturday on the 19th.
Correct. It's Saturday the 19th. Registration starts at 12:30. It's all free. All we do is, when we say registration, basically we're just asking you to check in, and then we're going to give you a raffle ticket. And then we're going to divide you up into 4 groups. So your 4-year-old doesn't have to compete with a 12-year-old hunting out eggs. We're going to have 4 different quadrants out there. So they're not going to get tackled, by an older kid or vice versa. Or a parent, yeah.
Yes, and all parents will be hobbled, just to let you know. I'm kidding about that, sort of. Be nice.
Word is that we're even going to have the Easter Bunny out there for photos and stuff like that.
Well, he has to be because he has to lay all those eggs.
Yeah, I wished he was laying the eggs.
Right.
That would have made it a lot simpler. But in addition, I mentioned when you check in for registration, you're going to be given a raffle ticket. And we've got some incredible prizes that we give out. So you're going to have a chance to win like Lego sets and scooters and stuffed animals. And
I want that.
So not only are you going to go away with a huge bag of candy, you're going to have a good chance to win a nice toy or something to come away with. So the hunt begins at 1 o'clock, but be there at 12:30 to check in.
Yep.
And
that way you have time to divide the kids up into their groups and things like that.
No, I wish I could find a drone or something, because I bet you it would be a really cool picture to see everybody scattering around
That
there.
would be really fun.
So if anybody has a drone that'd like to come out and take some pictures for us, that'd be awesome.
That would be. Love that idea.
Or Cheryl, if you're listening, my birthday's coming up.
The next newest drone pilot in town.
Yeah, exactly.
Hint, hint.
So. Yeah, that's about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Love that.
This will be my first big event that I'm not in charge of, but I'm here representing.
Certainly have your hands in
absolutely.
it, and if there's anything in the world that is fun, it's watching these kids chase down these eggs, and they're just so excited, and it is so much fun. And I think we should have an adult section.
It's funny you say that, because before we left...
Maybe on a different day, but...
Before we left California, Cheryl and I participated in an adult egg hunt. One of the clubs put it on, and there were adult prizes. And how they did it is they sprinkled the eggs out over a baseball field and then turned off all the lights. So it was completely in the pitch dark. And you're out there with 100 adults scrambling, trying to find these eggs in the pitch dark. And the whole event lasted all of like a minute and a half, because you had all these crazy adults out there. But it was just a surreal experience.
That's
and then
so fun.
Every egg had a raffle ticket in it, and then that was your entry into. Then they raffled off again adult prizes, which was kind of nice.
But you could win a drone.
Yeah, you could win a drone.
That's so fun.
So that might be something we integrate in the upcoming years as we get more and more involved in your community here.
I mean, why not? Adults need to have some fun too.
Absolutely.
Hey, I am still a proponent for having adult 4-H camp. All of us that were in 4-H that miss it.
That could be fun.
To get all the adults together and go back and do, or have like adult 4-H. Where you could go and compete and do projects.
Almost like being a parent. I mean, you're raising an animal for 18
That's true.
years.
I just don't have any kids. I need to borrow one.
We've got 3. You're welcome to any of them.
Okay. That is hilarious. All right. Well, I'll take you up on that maybe.
Okay.
All right. So, Eric, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for being a member of the Kiwanis Club. And if you are interested in joining, how would someone do that?
Well, just get a hold of me. I mean, we're working on a new website coming up, but trying to think of the best way to contact us.
Well, you know how to get a hold of Cheryl here, so you can get a hold of Cheryl, and she can get a hold of you.
She'll give you my number, and
I think Carmen's still a member, right?
Absolutely.
So you know where to find Mark Carmen or the Wiggins family, or any Kiwanis member. They can get you, some information.
Come out on the Easter egg hunt. And just we're all going to be out there helping. Just tap us on the shoulder, and we'd be happy to give you all the information.
And I think you'll meet once a month or something like that?
We meet the fourth Tuesday of every month. No, yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right, we just had a meeting, yeah. And so it's a pretty low commitment.
Yeah.
One meeting a month isn't so bad.
No, it isn't.
They're great people. I mean, you just fall in love with the people there, and you instantly become family. And
Sure.
that's what I love about it.
That is so amazing. And, you are doing so much good. And that's not knocking any other service organization
Oh, no.
in the area. I mean, we have tons of them. We have Rotary and, so many other organizations. But the Kiwanis, I think that, they do such a wonderful job in keeping all the stuff local, which is wonderful.
Yeah, every penny we raise goes straight back into the community.
That's a good thing. So.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, make plans. Not this coming Saturday,
Right.
but next Saturday,
Manpower Park.
the 19th, Manpower Park. Be there at 12:30 or even a little bit before to get your kids signed up and registered, and they can just chase eggs for. Well,
Yeah, I have a feeling this event is going to last all of like 5 minutes. We've been working months and months
yes,
on this
exactly.
thing, and the whole thing's
For
going
it
to
to
be
be
over
over
like
just like that.
But that's all part of the fun.
That's the point, right? For the kids to have some fun. All right. Well, very, very good. We appreciate you stopping by, letting us know about some of the things that
Yep.
you all have coming up, and this Easter egg hunt coming up next Saturday. So make plans to attend that. All right. Well, we do have another message or so, and we'll be back. And I believe that Jade was talking with some friends yesterday from the Chillicothe Civic Theater. So we're going to have a segment with them when we come back.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
And we're on. Okay. Hello, everyone. Today I am here with our great friends from the Chillicothe Civic Theater. Are you guys able to introduce yourselves?
I am Joey Manna. I'm playing Jay Gatsby.
And I am Mike Azogus. My role in the show is Meyer Wolfsheim.
Okay, this is so exciting. I went to acting school in the beginning of high school, so I absolutely adore theater. So what did you guys do to prepare to get to audition for this role, and how was that process?
Joey?
So I'd done the show 4 years ago, auditioned for a completely different part, and was cast as Gatsby, which I believe is completely different than myself. So I just spent a lot of time watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to just talk slower and walk slower and be more of a gentleman, because in real life I'm none of those things. Gentleman. I mean, I'm a nice guy, but this is like 1920s style. I always saw myself more as Nick because I played Nick before, and I just more comfortable with that. But and Quincy's playing Nick and doing a better job than I ever did, and it's a great show. So.
Yes.
And my role of Meyer Wolfsheim, who is, by the way, if you're not familiar with the story, Meyer Wolfsheim is a man of somewhat questionable character. He was accused of fixing the 1919 World Series, for example. He is a mentor and associate of Jay Gatsby. The role in the show is a relatively small one. I specifically did want to audition for it for several reasons. One is I felt it was probably the most age-appropriate role for someone like myself in terms of the other members of the cast. And also being a smaller role was really what I kind of wanted to do for this production. And it was a chance. I enjoy playing character-type roles, and this is a character-type role, so it was a chance to kind of develop into that in the few lines that I do have in the show.
Yeah, definitely. Have you guys always been actors? Have you guys, is this your main thing that you guys do that you like?
I think that between the two of us, we might be the long, like in the show, the people that have been to Civic there the longest. I've been in since '98. I took a brief hiatus. He's been since, I don't want to say the year to embarrass him, but
No, it won't embarrass me. I've been involved with Civic Theater since 1985 and have appeared in just under, I think, 50 productions in anything from lead to character to supporting roles, musicals, comedies, dramas, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that is so exciting. You guys have a lot more experience than my belt, only a few years. But what first drew you guys to audition for The Great Gatsby? Like, what interested you about the story that you were like, I'm auditioning for this?
yeah, so I've been obsessed with the story for a very long time. The book is my favorite. I brought it to Chillicothe 4 years ago as a dinner theater with a separate company, and I just because I wanted to do it. It was, and I was I just got through cancer at the time, and I was like, if I get back to acting, I want to be something I'm passionate about, and it's always been The Great Gatsby for me. And so that when auditions came for this, mentally in my headspace, I hadn't done a show since then, 4 years prior. And I was like, I wasn't sure I was going to audition. Some people had asked me to, and I was even at auditions, I don't think I was in the headspace to even do anything until the first week of rehearsal started. I was like, you know what? There's a passion there that I had forgotten all about, and this show really just helped feed that passion. So.
Joey mentions the word passion, and I think that's what drove me to audition for this show. I have to admit, maybe I'm one of the few, but I did not know the story. I had never read Great Gatsby until reading the script. I really did not know the gist of the story. I know it is assigned reading oftentimes in a lot of schools, but the school that I attended, it was not. And so I didn't know it. But going back to the word passion, I just so thoroughly enjoy participating in theater. It is just such a diversion from real life, if you will. It's a chance to delve into and develop a character, to be someone different from yourself. And there's just a certain amount of self-aggrandizement, if I can say such a thing, to doing a role on stage and being on stage and with a cast, especially like the cast in this show, which is truly an ensemble. It is not a real large cast. I think we have, 13 cast members, if I'm not mistaken. And we get a chance to bond with each other, to form friends with each other. That's one of the things I've enjoyed over the years, is just meeting all the tremendously creative people that are involved with CCT, as we call it, by the way, for Chillicothe Civic Theater, that are involved with the CCT and making friendships out of that involvement. And I just find it very, very fulfilling. Plus, a benefit to having a small role such as myself during rehearsal. I'm about the only one who is able to sit out in the audience and watch all of these other fellow actors in this show ply their craft, and they do a tremendous job. Even though I've seen it night after night, I still marvel at the job that everybody does.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love theater. I've always loved theater. Everybody in theater. It's such a warm place to be because everybody is so welcoming. It's such a diverse group, and it's so great because even if you don't know the story, as you said, you get to learn that and you get to kind of immerse yourself in it and experience it for the first time. So I absolutely love that. Now, I do have a question for Joey. So Gatsby is such a complex and mysterious figure. How did you prepare to embody him?
Yeah, so it's actually not that far of a stretch. The GQ stuff, as I mentioned, was a lot because you think of Gatsby and you think he's the gentleman's gentleman. Every picture you see, every movie you see, he's played as such. But his backstory is he reinvented his whole life for one person, and I think in our lives, a lot of us have done that for somebody or something, including myself. I have changed everything about myself, put something up on a pedestal, put something up as an idol, and just kind of quote unquote worship that thing, and then just to watch it all fall apart as it spoiler does in the show, and then you're just left with nothing afterwards. And just putting my life into Gatsby's there, like there's a lot of things he says like about like not having much family. A lot of my family's passed on as well, so I can just kind of relate to a lot of this more so than I ever thought I could. And maybe I didn't want to play Gatsby because I was kind of scared of living through this stuff again in a way. Because reading the book, I knew I related to him, but I never wanted to play Gatsby. Like when I did it first, like I'll be Nick. That's safer for me because I'm a writer. But I mean, but so being Gatsby, you know, the mannerisms on stage, that was more of a stretch. But to be the actual part itself, I feel like just correlates so much with my actual life that that was the easiest part of it all.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you really immersed yourself in this role, felt it, and I feel like that will really correlate on stage. I know you can really tell when an actor really immerses themselves within their character because they just play it so well. Play it so well. So now I do have a question for Michael. So your character, how did you interpret his relationship with Gatsby, and are you playing him? Because I know every actor kind of plays the character in a different way, so I want to know how you prepared to play your character.
Excuse me. I really look at Wolfsheim, as I mentioned at the outset. He is a mentor and an associate of Gatsby. He is a manipulator in as much as he gets people to do his bidding, mostly through intimidation, if you will. But I do think he has formed a bond with Jay Gatsby. And I think Jay sees him, in a way, he sees him as a almost like a semi-father figure. And even though Meyer won't admit it, I think he sees Jay a bit also as a son type figure to him. He really never lets his guard down except 1 minute near the end of the show when he kind of lets his emotions peek out a little bit, but he quickly snaps back because that just is not within his character to show any kind of emotion other than a very straightforward and tough kind of guy. I guess looking at it, I thought of him in a way sort of like a mafia don, if you will. The voice, and for some reason, when I look at a role, I don't know why, but for some reason, when I look at a role, a voice or an inflection or an accent just kind of seems to come to me, and that was the case here with Meyer Wolfsheim as well. And as I say, I tried to play him a bit as a gangster type, but not real heavy into a gangster type.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And did you guys know each other before auditioning for this roles, or like, okay. How long have you guys known each other?
Over 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, I did shows in '98, but I think me and him started doing shows together in the early 2000s.
I think so. I had been a member, as I mentioned, since 1985, so I'm kind of the long-whiskered member of CCT, if you will. But yes, first met Joey when he came into to Civic Theater, and early 2000s, and have known Joey. We've both been members of the board for CCT, knew him through board membership. I'm still on the board, by the way. And just to enhance what Joey said earlier about his affinity for the Jay Gatsby character, having known him over the years here, I do have to say that I have seen that development that he talks about, and I have seen what he brings to this role versus what he brought to roles previously. Not that they weren't good, they were good. But again, I can see more of an internalization of the role here, and as you say, you bring forth your personal experiences and so forth into a role, and I can see Joey very, very much doing that here.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are so sweet. And okay, so did you guys have that immediate like chemistry? Like, did you guys immediately were able to just like flow together really well, or have you guys built? Yeah. Okay. I
I
absolutely
can't
love that.
stand him now.
Yeah, we've gotten along pretty well. We've acted in over 10 shows together at least.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done shows. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Yes, yes. But I would like to, even though we have known each other over the years, I think it's also good to point out that CCT is an all volunteer organization, 100%, and we are open to anybody and everybody to participate, whether they want to participate on stage or be in tech, be in a member of a crew, direct, choreograph, makeup, anything associated with theater, front of house, maybe ushering, overseeing concessions. We have opportunities for a lot of people, and over the years, we've had so many people that have become members of this organization. And we are also, over the last number of years now, we have really realized an underserved demographic as the youth area. And so we have a youth theater wing as well. So in addition to the 4 main stage shows, as we call them, that we do during the year, we have 3 or 4 productions associated with our youth theater. Anything from something very simple like Nemo Jr. to something more young adult like Footloose. And we have a youth theater camp in the summer that will be coming up. So we really try to expand our reach, and the support of the community has really been great. And I would like to say one thing relative to that support. For Civic Theater was founded in 1968, and for most of those years, we never had a permanent home. We would put on productions, anything from the Majestic Theater to high schools to out on Sugarloaf Mountain, where Tecumseh takes place, to even the gazebo in the park. And then, starting in about 2013, we acquired a building on South Paint Street in Chillicothe, and over the years, through a lot of hard work and generous people in the community and grants and so forth, we have made that building into our own permanent home. So we now have a permanent theater at 83 South Walnut Street in Chillicothe, and we're very proud of that. And that is where Gatsby will be taking place.
I'd like to piggyback some things that he said about people from various, locations coming to do shows. Our director Zach is from Columbus. Sweeney Todd, I believe, was his first show. He played Sweeney, and he's directing this show. We have people that come from Columbus as well. The girl that plays Daisy, she's from Columbus. She has a theater degree from Anderson University in South Carolina. She costumed the show, Little Theater off Broadway, for Clue. She's acted in plays. She did Into the Woods. She was Anne of Green Gables. She's been in all these shows. So you have people from different walks of life. Then you have local people too, who I grew up in theater with, like Quincy. I mentioned he's playing Nick, doing a great job. Gabby Goshorn, I've been in shows with her for ages. She was Dorothy. I was her Cowardly Lion one year, and to just like to see those developments and those relationships like regrow. And then Drew Davis is her fiance. He's playing Tom in the show. Sweetest, nicest guy I've ever met, and he's playing just the most ruthless person on the stage. And it's just like I'm scared sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, in some of the scenes, because like he's coming at me. And then there's with Matt Harper and Amanda Betts, and they play George and Myrtle. And these scenes, like you cannot look away when you watch these scenes. And we have some really strong people, like other roles in the show, people I never met before that have been in shows before that I just took my break. But knowing these people coming back in after the break I took, it's been 6 years since I've done a Civic Theater performance, and I was nervous about meeting people and re-meeting people because I had to leave shows based on various reasons, and just to be welcomed back was the biggest thing for me. And it took a week or two to just kind of get comfortable, but everybody has been kind. Every part in the play has been kind, and it's just been really nice to be back around.
And also to amplify a bit what Joey said, the people that he has mentioned have a lot of experience with CCT and in other areas. But we also have new people. For example, we have Jamie Schneider, who is new to our organization. This is his first show with us, and he happens to be in high school. So give you some idea of the range of this ensemble is everything from high school to somebody who is a little ways beyond high school.
And as we're wrapping up here, I want to thank you guys for coming. And when is your upcoming show, so people can know?
The show will take place over 2 weekends. Our opening night is tomorrow night.
Okay.
We will be running on this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. And on Sunday afternoon, we have a 2 p.m. matinee. And then next weekend, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening, again at 7. And of course, Sunday is Easter Sunday, and that's family time, and we will not be doing any show then. So there are 7 total shows, so don't delay, don't miss it. You can go to cctoh.org and get your tickets online. We encourage people to get tickets online, but if for some reason you can't, I'm sure there will be some available at the door as well.
Yes, so make sure to go check that out. These guys are incredible. Like, come on. And it was lovely having you guys on here. Is there anything else you would like to make known before we head out?
I think I'm good on my end.
Yeah, okay. I think so. We thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to share our love for theater and to let folks know about our upcoming production of The Great Gatsby. We had a visitor last night who had never seen the show, didn't really know the story, and reading some comments that she made, she was absolutely flabbergasted. She thought it was just terrific. So I'm sure you will too once you get your tickets and come see us.
Yes. Yeah, so make sure you guys get your tickets. There's 7 shows, you guys said? So that's plenty of shows. So if you guys miss one of them, you can make it to another one. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming on. It was such a pleasure having you, and good luck on your upcoming shows.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are waiting on our good friend Pete Wilson to come back. Want to thank Jade for that segment. Sorry about that little echo. We will fix that in the future. We know why that happened. We're waiting on Pete. Well, there he is, and he's coming on in. But I did want to tell you, after we're done with news here and our good friend Pete Wilson, Jade has recorded another segment with our good friend Josh Willett from the Tri-City Theater and all our area theaters, and you're going to be finding out about some of the cool movies and things that are coming up and being released. So we'll play that right after the news, and it'll run the show over, but that's A-okay. So, and Pete has not been here for like ages because we've had so many guests. So
that's great. That's great. You got people on Main Street TV.
Well, I tell you what, it is, Pete, but we also need to find out what's going on with news.
Okay, well, that's my job. So we'll go through some stuff, okay, before we get to Josh and those movie reviews.
Yeah,
Everybody
sure.
He's going to be our Siskel and Ebert.
There you go.
Okay.
I'd say these young kids don't know who they are.
Okay.
Do you know who they are? Siskel and Ebert?
They were. I don't know whether they're still alive or not. Famous movie reviewers,
Movie
and they
critics
were on,
or
they were
movie
on
review-
television.
Yes.
They just went
So
back
you-
and forth, and Siskel might say, "Ebert, you're nuts." Ebert might say, "Siskel, you're nuts."
Yeah, they
So
would review
It all
movies.
comes down to whether you like the movie, not whether they like the movie.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. On Monday evening, there was a town hall.
Yes.
At the Jackson City Council chambers. And as we are less than a month away now from the primary election, and probably the big, hold that picture up there while I explain that, Adrian. This is the folks that showed up for the town hall meeting on Monday evening at the Jackson City Council chambers. Now, the problem is, if you're trying to get the word out and trying to get local participation, there was a great turnout of city officials, both city administration, Jackson Mayor Randy Evans and some of his staffers, most Jackson City Council members, some other Jackson City officials like Jackson City Auditor Brett Reed. There were some members of the Citizens for Jackson Committee, including the chair, H.D. Crabtree, and his wife, the treasurer, Amanda Crabtree.
Yes.
However, there were only 2 members of the public there, and they actually had a connection with some of the city officials and the Citizens for Jackson people.
Okay.
And they were, I think you could say they were supporters, but they did not come to express concerns or even ask questions. So there was zero participation basically
Wow.
from the public. Now, they didn't waste any time. They had a round table discussion to get out some facts about the income tax and also discuss it among themselves, because these are the folks, the city officials and the Citizens for Jackson, who care the most about this. And they are doing their best to communicate with the public, because last November, the income tax issue, which is the continuation of the current 1.5% city income tax, failed by a narrow margin. It had passed in 2020, so they want to make sure that it passes this time. Or if it doesn't pass, it's not because they're not providing information and asking questions. So I do give them all credit for that. We are going to have a story in Saturday's paper that relates some of the facts of the city income tax and also what was discussed here in this roundtable discussion, which is what it morphed into. You have another chance, though, to communicate directly with these folks, and that's going to be noon today at the mayor's office. It's not going to be at city council chambers. It's going to be at the mayor's office in the Jackson Memorial Building. He's got a pretty big office there. If enough people come, they might change the venue, but the thing that is different this time is that they're going to do a Facebook Live on the Citizens for Jackson Facebook page. So there can be some, it can be interactive in that way. So, if you just didn't want to come to a town hall meeting or you didn't want to be on the spot, that was too public for you, this is a way to kind of make a comment, ask a question, and not actually be present at the event. So that's going to be, once again, noon today at the Jackson Mayor's Office at the Jackson Memorial Building, 145 Broadway Street. As far as the roundtable discussion, these are all proponents to the city income tax. The city officials believe in that. A lot of the infrastructure projects that are being done. Some of them are grant funded, but you need money to go along with that, called match money or leverage money. There's money that's not that the projects don't completely cover on the outside money. So they needed money for that. But the big thing is now, when they first passed the tax in 2020, it was half of it was go to the general fund, and that is mainly to support the Jackson Police Department. There is no property tax levy to support the police department. And so the police department obviously is a big ticket item. It's not actually as big as it used to be. They don't have as many staffers as they did 10 years ago.
Correct.
But they have more than they did when they had to do some staff cutbacks when they lost their other source of funding. So on the income tax, the police department would certainly be the hardest hit department if they do not have the city income tax, because there just isn't money, enough money to do the police department the way they're doing it now without the income tax. Part of when they started collecting the income tax in 2021, I think it was, because it passed in 2020, the model was, their financial model was that half of the Jackson Police Department budget would come from the income tax. So guess what? It now all comes from the city income tax. So if there is no income tax, that is going to really put a hurt on the police department and any progress that has been made there. And there's a lot of pride right now in what the police department has done and is doing.
Well, I think the statistics speak for themselves, Pete.
Right, exactly.
If you look at them.
Crime is down, and they're little, there's certainly, Chief Brad Hinch is certainly proactive on some other things. And he had a good bit of experience locally before he became the chief.
Sure.
So there is no sunset clause, which, they were talking about different ways or different reasons why it may have failed. However, they point out that, a new council or the current council, if they don't think that it's needed or they even think it needs to be reduced, they can do that. They can do that by legislative action. Also, most importantly, a referendum process can take place. And it doesn't really take a lot of citizens. I don't know what the number is, but it has to. It's a moving number based on the number of voters that voted in the last election or the last presidential election.
It happened before.
It has happened before. All it takes is some initiative by some folks, and then they just have to get signatories. People who actually are registered voters, and then that can force it to the ballot anyway.
Exactly.
So we will certainly follow up and see what happens there at noon. Speaking of income taxes, at the last meeting of the Oak Hill Village Council, Oak Hill Council voted unanimously to increase the village income tax. This was not on the ballot. This was imposed by council action. Oak Hill, since 2013, has had a 0.5% village income tax. Now, as a result of this legislative action on Tuesday evening, it will be 1%.
Oh, okay.
So now in Oak Hill, there's not like nearly the retail that there is in Jackson, and it's a fraction of the residents. So this extra money will generate an estimated $152,000 a year, whereas in Jackson it is generating over $4 million a year now. So that is a big difference. But Oak Hill also has a police department. They also have village operations on a smaller scale. And ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, if you use that as a benchmark in time, it has just been harder to get along. Things cost more. The employee situation has changed on what you need to pay. The people of willingness to work certain positions, all those things factor into it.
It certainly does.
As a businesswoman, it just costs a lot more to do things.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse.
It costs a lot more to be John Q and Jane Q Public too.
Sure.
But if you impose an income tax, which you can do, you can also, they could have put this on the ballot and maybe got it passed, but they have the legal right to impose up to 1%. Unlike they could not impose 1.5%, for instance. That would have to be voted on. That is in state law. But anyway, the increase in income tax in the village of Oak Hill they have to do some administrative things. They have to work with the Regional Income Tax Agency, which is an administrative agency at a higher level that helps cities and villages do this. They hope to have that in effect on July the 1st. And, of course, there's a lot of preparation work that needs to be done there. Also, at this meeting on Tuesday evening, Red Thompson Jr. was reporting, we, of course, know that the city of Jackson recently updated their zoning code, the one from 1983 to current. Oak Hill has done the same thing. They had a public hearing prior to the council meeting on Tuesday evening. Nobody came to beef about it. Or ask questions even. So at the council meeting, they had another reading of that zoning code, and they have to conduct a second reading and then a public hearing before making a final vote. The review period and public input will give council plenty of time to make revisions. I think they're going to have one more meeting to do the final approval, but they had to have the public hearing before they do the final approval. But it appears that they are in line to replace a zoning code that actually goes back to 1975. So, things change in zoning codes and the way you want to control development and where things are in your town. So that is in the works in the village of Oak Hill. All right. Did we talk about Blue Bean Home? I don't know whether we did that or not.
I don't remember. I've had so much Blue
Okay.
discussion with people that I don't know whether we
Okay.
did or not.
Well-
I don't think so.
Well, Officer Blue is home.
Yes.
They hoped that he would be home by last weekend. They thought they needed a little bit more time there, but the first of the week he was able to come home. I believe we have some pictures there, Adrian. K9 Officer Blue is the doodle.
yes. Look at him.
Isn't he
gosh.
cute? Well, he has a long road to recovery, but the good news is he was in good enough shape to leave the MedVet clinic
Yes.
up in Columbus, and he will have a long recovery at home. He's got to be careful, but he can walk on with assistance. Maybe
Yes.
he's walking a little bit on his own now. But talk about how this has affected a
Oh,
town.
my gosh.
I mean, it was just amazing what has happened. The response in the city of Wellston.
But you want to talk about how much impact that dog has had on the community. You can tell by his support.
Right, and there's a
Unbelievable.
kind of like a law enforcement canine on the police department. You know, that assists the drugs and does things like that. Blue is a therapy dog.
He's an emotional support.
Right, he's out.
situation.
He's out with a lot of the kids in the schools
He
and that
is.
sort of thing with Officer Jay, and they at last Thursday's Wellston City Council meeting. They did an update on Blue, and they had a bunch of kids in, and those kids raised more than $3,000 at a lemonade stand. Now, it wasn't just selling lemonade. I think somebody.
Look at that.
Some people may have thrown $50 bills through a cup of lemonade because they wanted to help Officer Blue. But see, they are holding signs up showing how much money that they collected.
That is
they are there. That is Officer
crazy.
J. Michael Jadrosink there on the right, and then of course in the middle is. Wellston, Mayor Anthony Brenner, and to his left, by the way, is the new service director in the city of Wellston, David Walton, which we'll talk more about. That's coming when he will start here at the 1st of May. But they have raised, according to John Robinson, the police chief, this was even as of last Thursday, they have raised between $6,000 and $7,000 for Blue's medical expenses.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you know about this, but it's medical expenses for doggies are expensive, just like they are for people.
Let's just say that you don't walk in the door of MedVet without it being, $5,000. So, not to mention all of the surgeries and things that he had to have to get him on the up and up. So, it's you're exactly right. And we have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. Well, maybe he does. I don't know. There is pet insurance, but no, the impact that dog has on the community is certainly there are no words to describe how much he means to people.
Absolutely. And there is going to be next Saturday
Yes.
a fundraiser for Blue.
Yes.
It's called, it's cute, Noodles and Doodles for Blue. It's going to be Saturday, April the 19th. That's a week from this Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. at Wellston Middle School. So
Yep.
we'll say more about that, going forward.
Absolutely.
All right, I haven't been able to tell you about this because, the way it's gone, I haven't been able to talk here on Main Street TV. But there was a big case in Vinton County last week that I think is worth bringing up. And it was a difficult case, a lot of emotion over this.
Okay.
It was a vehicular homicide case involving a 13-year-old boy who was killed in an automobile accident last August.
Okay.
But anyway, what happened was he was in a car, his father was driving, and a vehicle on State Route 93 just north of MacArthur, they had stopped to make a left turn. There was a car coming from behind that hit them in the rear.
I see.
It caused this car, which was the Coleman car. The young boy who was killed, unfortunately, tragically, was Landon Coleman. His father, James Coleman, was driving the car or the vehicle, whatever automobile it was. But it caused the Coleman vehicle to go across the center line. That is a 2-lane road, of course, 93.
Okay.
And it struck another car head on, and then another
my
car
gosh.
after that. The youngster, the 13-year-old, was dead at the scene. Father was seriously injured. Now, the driver of the vehicle that struck them in the rear, he was the at-fault driver. His name was, make sure I get this right. His name was Thomas Spradlin. Now, Thomas Spradlin was not drunk. He was not driving distracted. He made a error, all right?
Sure.
But vehicular homicide, which is serious, is not a felony. It's a misdemeanor. It can become a felony when you have aggravating circumstances like driving drunk, driving distracted, some other things that make it, really, really bad. So his case went to court last week for the judge for sentencing. That's Judge Jeffrey Griffith. This is the Vinton County Court, not the Common Pleas Court, because it's a misdemeanor. All right. His sentence was, and there were family members there from the Coleman family who were, who felt like there needed to be a harsh sentence here. There they are demonstrating in front of the courthouse that day with signs. And of course, one of them there, that's an aunt, I believe, is holding a picture of Landon Coleman. But the sentence was, a $1,000 fine, court costs, 6 months in jail, which was suspended. Driver's license was revoked for 5 years, and he was placed on probation. The family felt like it should be a greater sentence because Landon Coleman lost his life there.
What a horrible situation.
Right, it is. It
for
was
everybody.
difficult because a life was lost here, and it wasn't the fault of the victim. Mm-hmm. And it was the fault of the other driver. However, it is a misdemeanor, and the sentence can only be so much. And that was what Judge Griffith tried to explain. So, difficult situation there. I think we had a shot there, Adrian, in the court. If you could show that. That is Mr. Spradlin there on the left and his attorney, Jeff Finley. But anyway, this was in last week's paper. Written by Red Thompson Jr., but we were very glad to cover this because it was a difficult case. But vehicular homicide is not as serious a crime as murder or regular homicide, especially if there's not aggravating circumstances. So I don't know whether the law needs changed or that was an appropriate thing because it was just freaky in that, if you hit somebody in the rear, you'll probably get failure to assured clear distance or something like that, a misdemeanor, and you'll get a fine probably at the most. But in this case, the Coleman car went over the center line and it became and it became a tragedy.
Sure.
So,
oh my gosh.
What do you do? What is justice there?
Right.
So, all right, I asked the question. I don't try to judge it. All right. Also, this is National Child Abuse Prevention Week. In Jackson County and really all over the country, I believe. They have these proclamations and observations and like that. And yesterday was Wear Blue Day. I'm wearing it today because I wasn't here yesterday to wear it. But that was just an awareness thing to let people know that child abuse prevention is a major problem. And you don't hear about it by the nature of it.
Yes.
And these are all the folks, county officials and folks from the Jackson County Department of Job and Family Services who got together for a photo to kind of promote the occasion and try to raise public awareness about the issue of child abuse. And the big thing is, I guess, to the public is it does happen a lot more than you may think. And it needs to be reported to law enforcement and social services.
Sure.
All right. So another visual reminder is the pinwheels are out.
Yes.
They're out in front of the Job and Family Services building on South Street.
Which are heartbreaking.
They're in Manpower Park. In the past, they have also had them at the Oak Hill Village building, the Imogene Brunton Davis Memorial Building, and in front of Wellston City Hall. I'm guessing that they are there. We didn't take a picture this year, wasn't asked to, but I know they're at Manpower Park and in front of the JFS building.
Okay.
Just as a visual reminder. Okay, a lot of controversy at the federal level. About DOGE, that's the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon Musk is working on in cooperation with President Trump. And, some cuts have been made in budgets.
Oh, yes.
Right. And there was one that hit home here in Jackson County that we reported on Wednesday. But the Jackson County Health Department, back in the heyday of the COVID time, had received a $4.4 million grant. That's a lot. Now, it was for multiple counties. It just was the Jackson County Health Department was the administrator. And it was during the COVID-19 to help with all the vaccines and extra personnel to create awareness to the public for the need for vaccines, et cetera. It was a 3-year grant. I think somewhere in there they got an extension, but it was supposed to expire in August, and everybody knew that it was going to. At one time, there was 13 employees, and I think 8 counties involved.
Yes.
They were down to just 3 employees, but those community health workers, they're called,
Yes.
were doing other things.
Which
that were
they've
important.
been in here numerous
Right,
times talking about
yeah, they
things.
were working on drug abuse. They were working on food insecurity. They were working on
Smoking
health,
cessation,
They were working
all that
on,
stuff.
on healthy eating. Yeah, they're
Yes.
working on a number of public health issues other than COVID
Mm-hmm.
because, they were funded to do public health work, which was primarily COVID at the beginning. Well, the CDC, of course, new administration there,
Yep.
they pulled the grant
Early,
effective
huh?
March the 24th. It was supposed to
Oh,
go through
boy.
August. So as a result, the health department and Health Commissioner Kevin Aston shared this information. They had to lay off the 3 remaining community health workers who were supposed to work into August. And instead of remaining grant money being paid for their separation costs, unemployment, whatever money they were going to give them because they were cut loose early.
Yeah.
That's going to come from health department money. I believe it's money that was in the grant that they already had, but they could not pull the remaining money. It was just
Sure.
frozen. And what the CDC notification said was, and this was their justification, is that the COVID-19 pandemic was over a long time ago, and this had no purpose to continue. So, all right. Our basketball mania, of course, ended on Monday night.
Yeah.
And we want to congratulate our winners. We had 3 winners who shared
Okay.
$600 in cash. Tina Callahan, retired teacher of the Wellston City Schools,
Yes.
Jackson resident. She was the overall winner.
No way. Cool.
Out of 355 contestants, she will win $300. Second place went to Derek Wallace, and third place to Ashley McClellan. All of the standings are in the Wednesday edition of the Telegram. You can also catch them online on the Total Media page, on the Total Media website. Real quickly tonight, the Oak Hill Festival of Flags is hosting Bunny's Prize Bingo. That's it. Madison Jefferson does bingo all the time, but this is for the Festival of Flags to raise money for the kids' passes they do at the Oak Hill Festival of Flags. That allows all the elementary students in Oak Hill to have free rides at the Festival of Flags.
Yes,
It's great
that
for the
is so
festival,
good.
gets more people there, gets their parents there, and it gives the kids, a chance to ride for free if money is an issue, and often it is. Also today, this is Public Library Week, and we want to highlight something going down at Oak Hill. The Oak Hill Public Library will have a book signing event from 1 to 3 p.m. today. Our good friend Glenna Frances Gipser Warner will be there to sign her book, which is entitled Dairy Farms of Jackson County, Ohio, from 900 to the present. She did a lot of research on that book, some original history, and this is a chance to talk with her, have her sign a book, and you can buy a book. And I believe there are copies of that book at each of our public libraries as well.
Very
which you
cool.
don't have to pay for it all. You can borrow and read them.
There you go.
So there you are.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you so much for filling us in on what's going on around the community and the latest and greatest. And we do, as I mentioned before you stopped by, have a video with Jade and our good friend Josh Willett here coming up in just a second. And we're going to find out about some of the new movie releases coming out.
That's great.
So we'll see. So let's get to that. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you right back here in the morning with some friends of Fields of Hope and the Buckeye Furnace Easter egg hunt. So we'll talk about that.
3,000 eggs.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Josh Willett from Silver Screen 7, Tri-City Theater, and the Danbarry Cinema. Okay, let's get right into it. The Minecraft movie just came out.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Numbers that we have never seen before. In fact, we broke our, in Chillicothe, and again, that's where the numbers I've been paying the most attention to. We had 2,000 people through the door on Saturday.
Wow.
In Chillicothe alone.
2,000.
Yeah, and before that, our second highest day now was like 1,600.
That's still
in an
really
entire
crazy.
day. So the Friday is now what was our third highest. It was like 1,600 as well. So, yeah, we've seen numbers that we've never seen before. And everybody knew it was going to be kind of a big movie. Yeah. But I think its projections nationwide were like somewhere between 80 and 100 million. And nationwide, it broke like $163 million. Yeah. And in small towns in particular, it's been very well attended. Same thing. Every show at Tri-City on Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday, every show has been sold out.
Wow.
So numbers that we've never seen before. So this is a great thing. Yeah. But you and I were talking off air. The downside to this is it's just been chaos. And realize that this is not some kind of like poor management thing for us. This is a nationwide like movement of craziness occurring at the theaters. I would tell you now, if you want to go see that movie and you want to take your family to go see it, I do not encourage you to go yet.
Let it chill out. Unless you are super into people screaming, "I am Steve."
I would tell you definitely you're going to want to wait because I've had, again, the teenagers are having a good time. And I just came back from CinemaCon, which is the movie convention for theater owners. And I mean, we had a great time there. And one of the things that it's the big conversation is about going to the movies and having an experience at the theater that you can't get at home. And, you know, so seeing reactions to a movie in the theater, and especially, you know, I was looking at a video talking about genuine reactions in a theater when people, you know, see, you know, a new announcement or a new character's brought in, or, I mean, I just imagine what it would have felt like the first time being in a movie theater full of people and hearing, you know, Luke, I'm your father. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you're going, oh, that's crazy. But this, and you took a couple of videos from Tri-City on, and this was Sunday?
Yes, this was Sunday. So this wasn't even the day it, came out.
No.
This was a few days afterwards.
But this is all during opening weekend. If you want to show those, you can see what some of the reactions have been like. The theater just kind of, you know, yelling out along with it. So again, be prepared for that. It's in a manner that we have never seen before. I remember a few years ago we were talking about it was like Despicable Me or a Minions movie, something. And it was during the pandemic, and we had kids coming in, and they were dressed in formal wear. Yeah. That was really cool. And they were very nice, very respectful. But right now, what's happening in the theaters is not so great. Yeah. It's nice to see people reacting, but it's so scripted that it doesn't seem like a genuine reaction, which bothers me a little. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you that if you're in there destroying a theater, we are going to put a stop to that. But the bigger issue is we want people to be able to have a good, enjoyable experience. And I would rather that you wait than have you be subject to something that you're not happy with. So, you know, I think both sides. I think that the people who are being kind of crazy need to slow down, and the people who are expecting that the theater is going to be very, very quiet, don't expect that.
Exactly. Like, I walked in Sunday, me and my boyfriend went, and we were like, okay, so it came out the 4th, and this is like the 6th, so we're just like, okay, it'll be a lot more dialed down. We were so wrong. Like, everybody was, I'm very excited that everybody's really excited about the movie. It's just, sometimes it surpasses the amount of excitement that I would think would be normal, you know?
Yeah, and I'm trying to, actually, I wanted to give you an idea. I think that we had, yesterday, Minecraft in Jackson showed one time, and I believe there were 140 people there, just for that one show.
Wow.
So.
On a Monday?
On a Monday.
On a Monday.
So, Just so keep that in mind. All those movies are, it's very well attended, which is great for us. We'll take it. But just be aware, it's pretty busy right now. But that's the Minecraft thing, and there's tons of other great movies that are coming along too. But what I would always encourage you to do is go to our websites, and our websites are very good at showing you anything that is available. We have it up. And in Tri-City right now, again, off air, we were talking about the renovation projects that we've had going on. There are currently 3 of our 4 screens are open. 2 of them have been through renovations. They have new leather rocker seats. To me, they're very similar to what we already had, but now they're leather. And we've just done a lot of updating. You'll go in and see that the carpet's been changed. There's new lighting. So one step at a time, we keep making our way through that. So, and the largest theater, I know people were going in before and there were broken seats. That has all been repaired. That's kind of been my fear with the Minecraft movie is now you have all these people coming in. We just spent the last 3 weeks repairing seats. Yeah. And that's the last thing I want is people destroying the theater again.
So please be mindful.
Yes.
Please be respectful when you're at the movie theater.
So it's been really exciting seeing that project. If you've been and seen a movie in the last 2 weeks in one of those new screens, let us know how you feel that's going. I'm hoping people are finding the seats to be comfortable, and we're just really excited about it. So that's it on the renovation front. We're still in process and will be for probably the next month.
Okay.
Really
So what are some of the other movies that are coming out this week?
So this week, the big movie is the movie King of Kings.
Okay.
And what's neat about this is that it's conceptually Charles Dickens, the famous author, telling the story of Jesus to his son.
Okay.
And it has an incredibly star-studded cast. I just had it up. Pierce Brosnan's in it. Mark Hamill. Wow. It's funny, we were just talking about Star Wars. Let's see, trying to remember. Uma Thurman, Forrest Whitaker, people who I really don't know, but just a hugely star-studded cast.
Yeah,
There's probably somebody in there that you know who they are better than I do. Ben Kingsley. I don't know who this Roman Griffith Davis is.
Yeah, he must be a new actor. But yeah, this is a very filled cast with a lot of talented actors.
It's neat because it's Angel Studios. And Angel Studios has been working to bring. I don't want to just say faith-based content because it's not necessarily that. They're working to bring family-oriented content to the theaters, and this has been the biggest star-studded cast that I have seen with King of Kings. The one thing, again, kind of a warning, I've seen lots of social media posts for King of Kings, and Angel Studios has been doing a promotion right now with like buy an adult ticket, get one for kids for free. That is not something that you will come to the theater and do. That's something that you'll actually have to buy through Angel Studios. I don't know any of the details on it. I know what I've read. I had read somewhere one person said that they paid more in fees than the value of the ticket. So you might come to us and buy a kid's ticket for $6.50, but if you're buying it through Angel, you're paying them a $10 fee. So it'd be cheaper to come and just buy the ticket. So just be aware of that if you are going to that movie. And you're wanting the free tickets that Angel is offering, you're going to have to organize that through Angel Studios and not through us.
Okay.
But it looks like it's going to be a fantastic movie. At Tri-City, we have, again, Minecraft is still going. King of Kings is our new movie for the week. And then the third movie, I think, is still Working Man. There's a theater right now that everybody's just calling it Statham. It's Jason Statham, and if you know Jason Statham movies, it's a very typical Jason Statham movie. So that's why I can tell you those are our big 3 right now happening, at least here in Jackson.
Okay.
But we do have some expanded offerings. Can I just have you pull up? Can you pull up the Danbarry website just so people can see that for me? So the Danbarry website is a great place to go if you want to see what movies are truly available. So we'll be. Right now, I would usually, insider news, I tell people this all the time. Most new releases will actually come out on Thursday.
Really?
So as much as it'll tell you that it's a Friday open, Thursday many times is a great way to go catch that movie before everyone else.
Okay.
So if you want to go see a movie like Drop or Amateur, those are our two of our other new releases this week. When you're on our website, if you click on one of the pictures, it will give you a trailer. It will give you a description of what the movie's about. It gives you all the show times. You can even click on a showtime and it will tell you, what your price would be. And so you can figure all of that up really without sending us a Facebook message going, how much does it cost to go to this? Well, it depends. And you don't have to be a registered user. You can just use it as a guest and go in and see ticket pricing, all those things.
Nice. Okay.
So our website, we work very hard to make sure that it's updated just as quickly as we can. Sorry, sinuses.
No, you're good.
And updated with just the newest movies that we have. We also have the Danbarry app, Tri-City Theater app, and the Silver Screen 7 app. So, and those update immediately. If I make a change in our system, it updates right away inside the app.
Nice.
And being a part of the Loyalty Rewards program, we're hoping here in the future to start utilizing that a little bit better so that we can get promotions out to customers who can tell us what type of movies they'd like to see. We can send you an email update or even some kind of media blast letting you know, hey, you've liked this movie, you might like this one too.
Yeah, that's good.
So we're trying very hard right now to kind of keep people updated on what is the newest great release coming. So in Gallipolis at Silver Screen and in Chillicothe, there are 2 other movies that I think that we just pulled up. There is Drop, which again, I don't know a ton about Drop, but I know that that's one of our new releases this week. And
it's definitely more on the scary side. So if you guys are into scary movies, definitely check Drop out.
There you go. Again, I hadn't even heard of Drop until it was mentioned to me yesterday.
Yeah, I actually saw the trailer a week ago. It's basically about like somebody airdropping and blackmailing this lady. And it's a scary movie. And it looked good from the trailer that I saw. So.
And of course, in this area, when people ask us what kind of movies do well for you, we always tell them animated, family movies, faith-based movies, and horror movies. Those are the things that do very well for us, even better than some action movies. Those are the types of movies that usually we bring in the most because that's what we see that people want to attend. So there's that one, and also The Amateur. So this is the movie with Rami Malek. I've seen it advertised a lot more.
I only recently saw it advertised about like a few days ago, so I actually don't know about this movie.
So, and I, again, don't know a ton about it. I'm actually going to pull it up just like we had done before so that I can see some different information about it. And it helps to be able to do that. Charlie is a brilliant but deeply introverted decoder for the CIA. Yes, I remember that. Working out of a basement office in the headquarters. So if I remember correctly, some of the footage things I saw was like he's going out and doing the CIA work, but he doesn't necessarily shoot people.
Yeah.
So more of an introverted character. So that one will be really exciting. So that's our second big one. That is, again, available at both Silver Screen and Danbarry. And then there's one more new movie that will be available at Danbarry, and that is, the war movie. I I just mentioned it, and you've got it there. Which one?
Warfare.
Warfare. There we go. Again, so if you're someone who really enjoys these war-based movies, this was probably another one that you were really going to like. I don't, and again, it's not really my thing, so I don't know a ton about this movie. But Warfare does start this week. I'm guessing it's only going to be there a week or two. It might play through Easter, but I'm not sure. There's so much new content. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And the last thing I really wanted to tell people about again is The Chosen. So The Chosen, Last Supper, part of the great television series that people have seen, they do an exclusive 1 week at a time release of their series.
That's cool.
So if you came in and saw part 1, it shows you certain episodes, and then part 2. So the last day to see part 2, actually, we're filming right now on Wednesday, so today was the last day to see 1 and 2. Part 3 opens for us on Thursday, when you guys are seeing this. Part 3 opens Thursday. It's only there for a week, and realize that series, as of right now, will be finished in theaters like the last day is Good Friday.
Okay.
So it only plays 1 week at a time. If you want to catch it in theaters, you have to catch it just in that 1 week window.
Okay, so if you guys do like that series, catch the third one.
And there are a ton of our viewers love watching the Chosen series.
I did hear about that one. A lot of people do say that's good. But is there anything else you'd like to touch base and cover and tell people before we head out?
Well, we're hoping to do this once a week, and as we progress, I would say that these will get shorter and shorter.
Yes.
This is also a huge week for us because there's so many new movies. It is not normal for us to have 4 or 5 new movies and have a blockbuster like Minecraft. That is very unusual. And I anticipate King of Kings is going to be a very big movie. There's something for everyone, which I think is going to be fantastic.
Genres. Yeah.
And we try really hard to make sure that that's the case, that we can have as many offerings so that there's something for everyone. Might not be something for everyone all the time, but keeping the theaters moving, it's not... One of the things that we know is important is it's fine to have 150 people on a Monday come and watch Minecraft. But we need to have that kind of momentum on the other movies like Drop, like Warfare, to be able to continue to bring that kind of content, to the people of our communities. So we're really excited. So we try not to focus all of our energy on just the major blockbuster releases. I actually spend a lot more time dealing with the other movies to make sure we have all of that available for people as well.
And I like that we're doing this because it'll make watchers know that how much care you put into it.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll make it a lot more worth it to watch.
And realize that for me, I am not an expert in movies. I've never proclaimed to be I'm a lover of movies. But if you go to, let's say that you are in Chillicothe and you go to Danbarry, our general manager, Abe Leonard, he is a absolute movie lover and an expert in movies. You see our assistant manual, Daniel Griesheimer. So Daniel is also a movie maker and an actor. So these guys are really, they are our experts in movies. For me, I deal with trying to make sure that we can bring the best content to people, whether it's a movie that I think I'm going to love or not. Again, the movies that I tend to go see tend to not be the highest attended. Very strange. So I don't book movies based on what I want to see. I book them based on what I think people will want to see.
Definitely.
At some point, I'll get to talk to everyone about, share a little bit with you about CinemaCon. And some of the major upcoming movies that are definitely causing a stir in the world right now, whether it be, Thor or Smurfs, the new Mission Impossible movie. Lots of great movies that the studios are very excited about. And I think we as consumers will be really excited about too. I think 2025 and into 2026 are going to be some pretty great movies. And a lot of them are based on what we call the franchise movies. You know, it's this movie part 2, this movie part 6, this, you know. There's also another great movie coming soon, F1, that I'm really excited about.
Yes.
If you're a fan of, well, I call it Top Gun for Formula One racing. And I did get a chance to see How to Train Your Dragon.
Really?
So
I'm
we
so
got to do an
excited for that
exclusive
one.
on that. If you're a fan of that original animated movie, this live action, unbelievable.
That's so exciting.
Unbelievable. I can't wait for people to see that one. In fact, I was so busy being hyped about that movie that I wasn't paying attention to what was happening here with Minecraft. It was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait for people to see this. And then Minecraft goes. So it's been really exciting. But thank you for letting me be here.
Yes.
And we'll keep talking more and more about things to come.
Yeah.
And I already went way longer than I wanted to.
No, it's okay. Sometimes we got to get all that information out. So summary, Minecraft movie is crazy. Stay safe, y'all. But no, seriously, thank you for coming on.
Thank
I
you.
hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.